Eric.
Max.
Joseph.
Man, you guys can have a little less enthusiasm the next time you say your name. Jesus Christ. Usually Max is like, Max! And I have to like lower it just because it like offsets.
Yeah, just like, oh wait, never mind. I'm sorry, I'm not recording.
Anyway, this is the Gaming Nexus show. Each week we
Okay,
talk
now I'm
about
recording.
news stuff. Oh my gosh, so we need to do it again?
Were you not recording?
Did you not hear me when I said, oh wait, shit, I'm not recording?
I thought it was a joke. Fantastic.
All right, starting over.
Anyway, before we get started, I think, Joe, you brought up a great way to kind of celebrate Eric's, 52nd birthday, 53rd? Which one is it, Eric?
49.
Oh,
49, man.
Get him.
Close enough, I guess.
I knew it was
1
off.
year left. 1 year left till you guys can just call me old with impunity.
Impunity.
You still got a good head of hair for 49, though, man. Huh?
That is true.
I'm jealous.
The only real aging that I'm really feeling these days is this weird spot on my head right here. Look at that.
Yeah, it's a little soft. Is it a little soft? Can you push it in?
What is that?
Yeah, we'll
Probably
take a picture of this weird spot on Eric's temple, and we'll put it up on the website for all the listeners to see.
Yeah.
It's a big ass freckle. Like I don't know what it is. It just showed up like last year.
The older you
like,
get, the bigger your freckles, huh?
Getting old. Big freckle on my forehead. There it is.
Freckle on that's a song, I think.
Freckle head.
Freckle on my forehead. Yes, we are. Today is a very we may talk about games, we may not, but today is the editor-in-chief, a.k.a. Noodle himself, a.k.a. the Weasel King, a.k.a. Eric Hodder's birthday podcast. Yes, we're changing it. It's no longer the Gaming Nexus show. No. Eric Hodder's 49th birthday podcast special.
Yeah,
The whole thing. The whole thing.
That's the whole thing. You gotta say the whole thing. If you don't
Eric,
say the whole thing,
this is your life.
Yeah. So yeah, I wanted to, since we've all at one point worked for Eric or worked with Eric, however you want to look at it. I thought we could share great stories in working for Eric history, since we still currently work for Eric.
Max does not work for me.
No. If he's on this podcast, he works for you.
I work, and yet you never pay me.
Yeah, that's right.
I never pay any of you.
So I just wanted to start by thanking Eric for keeping this ball rolling and keeping us afloat. And I love and respect this man. I've known him for way longer than I thought. I've known him for, is it 90
years?
96? 95, 96?
I don't know. You were 16.
Yeah. Okay, then that's
a
94.
Boy.
That's 94. I've known
Sounds
Eric
right.
since 94, KB Toys, way back in the day. And Eric is going to, because I don't know the details of this first story I'm going to tell you. And I don't even, I'm going to just start it. And Eric is just going to finish it. Apparently, I hit Eric over the head with a soft baseball bat.
Okay. Now, look.
Here we go.
And that's where you got that freckle.
That's why I got the dent in my head. So, okay. It wasn't a soft baseball bat. Like, when we were KB, we sold these bats, and they had like a thick plastic core. Like, they weren't hollow. They had a thick plastic core on the inside, and then they were wrapped with like kind of a foamy rubber sort of thing.
Yeah.
It was the size of a normal bat. The foamy rubber on the outside was like a 1/4 inch of foamy rubber, right? And the rest was just like a big piece of plastic. So I guess Joe thought that it was like if you hit a baseball with these things, you could hit a home run. Like it was it was solid and heavy. And I guess he thought the foam was gonna protect. He was 16 or 17. I don't know.
Never seen foam before.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know what foam is. Synthetic.
I was just working, doing something, bending over, fixing something on a shelf or something. He walked up behind me and just went bong on the back of my head with the bat, and yeah, I got mad.
That's how I showed my love for Eric right there.
There was anger. Anger.
You were very angry.
Yeah, it still comes up from time to time in
Yeah,
conversation.
it comes up all the. I think every time, every walk of life we've had together, whether it's KB, whether it's doing music, whether it's having karaoke in the barn, especially karaoke in the barn. Eric tells this story as a drunk story. You remember that one time where Joe hit me over the head with a foam bat? Yeah, he'll bring that up. So that's the first. That's the one that started off just like that. That my first year of knowing Eric, assaulted him.
Yeah, you want to tell what I did in retaliation?
Nope.
Oh,
You could tell it though.
Knocked him down on the ground, took off his shoes, and threw him in the dumpster.
Threw him in the dumpster.
Threw his shoes
Took off
away.
both my shoes. We're in the store. We're working. We're on the clock. And in retaliation, he knocked me down. He yanked my shoes off, and he went all the way out back. And he walked an extra couple of feet to throw my shoes in the dumpster. Yes, that's right. I had to go into the dumpster on the clock at KB Toys in Eastland to get my shoes.
As is appropriate.
Yeah.
that's great.
So there you go. It's my first story to you, Eric, you motherfucker.
Weird
Nice
retaliation, but fair.
Yeah. All right. So
I
that's
think it
what
lines up.
I wanted to do. I don't know how long this is gonna go. I don't know how interesting it's gonna be, but I got stories. So there you go.
The one I had was Eric used to sit in the back of the office in Cracker Barrel, and we worked in the store part of Cracker Barrel. We didn't work in the restaurant part. We worked in the fun part of Cracker Barrel. If you can
The gift
consider
shop.
that the fun, yeah, gift shop. I always
shop.
told when I used to teach drivers ed, I used to tell kids like, "Oh, I worked at Cracker Barrel, and we tailor to a very specific demographic, old white women, because like everything is basically designed for old white women to buy like in bulk."
100%. Yep.
Oh, it's crazy. Like, why would you go buy bed sheets at Cracker Barrel? But they sold bed sheets.
Yep.
Anyway,
Bedspreads, quilts. Yeah.
yeah, all kinds of crap.
Country quilts.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
With
we're also getting
Gaither
back country
style
quilt here
quilts.
in the
Remember
city.
the Gaithers? I didn't know the Gaithers until I started working there, and now I'm bombarded with Gaither stuff all the time. The
I haven't
Gaithers.
thought about the Gaithers since my last day at Cracker
Oh,
Barrel.
wow.
That word hasn't even crossed
Oh,
my
really?
mind since
I feel
then.
like I see them
Thanks
all the
for
time
bringing
now.
back the Gaithers.
I'm like,
Yes.
oh, the Gaithers.
So far, so good.
Eric used to sit in the back and write short stories on the word processor that he had on the computer back there, while the rest of us were standing out front doing stuff or pretending to do stuff.
Yep.
One day, Eric had me come back into the back part, sit on a rocker, and read his short story that he had written, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
The cheese, I still remember it. I still remember it very fondly. The good twist ending of it, it was great. It was a great short story. The very next day, I decided to go in the back and sit on my phone for a minute or two just to like take a break. And Eric comes out and yells at me for sitting on this same chair that he made me spend 15 minutes on the day before reading his dumb cheese story. He's so mad at me. I just was like, what the hell, man? Like 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds to send this text. And this asshole is so mad at me, but there's like 2 other people out front already. He's like, what are you doing? What are you doing sitting down? Like, dude, yesterday. Like, it had just completely not happened at all.
It was a different day.
Yeah.
It was a different day.
It was like a Tuesday or a Wednesday. It wasn't even like a weekend day. Having said that, Eric was the first boss I ever had that I would answer the phone when he rang, because it was Eric. It was
thanks,
absolutely the first boss I ever had. I think we talked pretty regularly for like the first year or so after we both left, because we left at a very similar time.
Yeah.
I left a month or two after you. We still kept in contact for a while, and then you just kind of dissipate like things do. But definitely like the first boss that I definitely enjoyed working for. You know, definitely. I literally started writing because you sent a tweet out, and I was like, oh, Eric, I'm like, so, say what you will about being an asshole about me sitting for 2 minutes to send a text, but it's definitely a solid dude all around. And again, like that was 10 years ago at this point, man. The fact that so anyway, that's my story. That was the one that I could remember that definitely came up to the top of my head the moment I thought of this.
No, thanks, guys. That's very cool.
That's amazing.
Can we talk about games now? Can we?
Well, I just want to say Eric was the first boss that I had.
Well, here, I'll say this.
Before that, I worked like for my mom, landscaping. Like,
I didn't actually hire Joey. I inherited Joseph.
That's true. From Lisa.
Yeah. And Marsha before her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I did hire Joseph back. But I will say this: I remember interviewing.
Oh my god.
All three of you guys, and I absolutely 100% hired you because I liked you. Like I hired you because you were cool, and I enjoyed talking to you. Each one of you, I specifically remember it, thinking, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna hang out with this guy." You know, like didn't matter, Max, that you were a kid or
yeah,
you
not
were
because
cool.
you're experienced, definitely not because
funny.
you're competent, definitely not because you know how to do the job. I hired you guys because I liked you.
Yeah, like that's why I hired almost everybody. Like I but you three in particular, I specifically remember, and I'm very glad that we have a chance to still hang out and chat. So
yeah. Happy birthday,
Yes,
Eric.
Thank you.
Guys.
Happy birthday, Eric. Yay, happy birthday, Eric.
Thanks, guys.
That's all. That's segment. Segment's over.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
really bold of us to have like a juicy, sentimental segment about one of the co-hosts, episode like 8.
Right?
10. This is 10. We're on 10. We're double
We're on
digits
10.
now,
Yeah,
man.
see, Max, we
Yeah.
met the threshold.
I think 12 is the threshold that like most podcasts stop at 12. So we got like 2 more weeks and then we can stop.
Ooh,
Sweet.
So anyway, couple of big pieces of news. I got a bunch of like Tencent stories, which like Tencent's like going around buying all kinds of stuff this week.
Tell me
It's kind of weird. So Tencent in the last week, they have bought the British video game developer Sumo. Let's see, they've made some Sackboy games, Hot Shot Racing, Spider, Hood Outlaws and Legends, Sonic Team Racing. There's some of the games they've been making games since 2004. So they now are owned by Tencent, which is, I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about Tencent. They make some quality stuff, or they buy some quality developers, but they're also kind of like the new EA, I dare say. Maybe, I mean, they're bigger than EA, right?
Yeah, they're probably the EA. If anybody, you know what I mean?
EA,
if anybody stole their formula from Tencent, it was EA. But Tencent was doing that shit first. We just didn't know about it.
Right.
Oh, I think you guys are underselling Tencent. I think
Tencent
so.
I think you're
is
right.
like
I don't know anything about
way
Yeah.
bigger than EA. Like because
Yeah.
Tencent is a Chinese company, and so
Yes.
they've been gaming it up over in China and Korea and all those places, and like MMOs and like all those internet cafes where people play too long and then have a stroke.
Yeah.
Like those are all Tencent
Tencent.
games that they're playing. They were already, I would say, larger than EA 5 years ago when they started moving in on the North American market.
Well, so they
like,
also bought...
They're a megalon.
They also bought Stunlock, or they have the majority stake in Stunlock Studios. They make battle royales. And then they are also reportedly going to buy Crytek. Crytek has made Crysis, Hunt, the Climb games, Rise, Robinson, Far Cry. Those are some of the games that they've made. So it looks like they're going to buy them for 300 million euro, according to a couple of reports. So they're just like, they keep buying things up. And again, it seems to be Microsoft, Sony, Tencent, these big studios are just buying up more and more and more developers, where we're going to get, like a Power 5 or Power 10 maybe at some point in the next 5 to 10 years, where everything's going to be made by, a small group of like companies that own a billion companies.
Well, at this point, like they're buying up big ones, like buying Bethesda for Microsoft. That's no joke. Like that is a huge company to be just bringing under your umbrella. It's not like, I mean, Double Fine was pretty big, but like Bethesda dwarf, Double Fine. So yeah, it's weird how it's kind of siloing out like this. THQ Nordic, goes around buying up dead companies and resurrecting them, which is an interesting model.
The necromancer of publishers.
Yep, very successful. Yeah, I mean, I played that SpongeBob game.
Yeah,
that's for real.
Speaking of SpongeBob, we didn't talk about it last week, and I don't know why we didn't, but there is a Nickelodeon All-Star Brawler coming out.
Super SpongeBob Brothers.
Do you want me to list off the characters? There's Danny Phantom, Helga Pataki, Invader Zim, Leonardo, Michelangelo from the Ninja Turtles, Lincoln Loud and Lucy Loud. I don't know that show. Nigel Thornberry, Oblina from All Real Monsters, Patrick Star, Powder Toast Man, Reptar from Rugrats, Sandy Cheeks from SpongeBob, and SpongeBob himself. Those are the confirmed playable characters.
They just released there may be Avatar characters.
Right, yeah. There's a lot of hint to the Avatar characters being on there, but nothing yet.
So I absolutely requested that game to review. Didn't even wait. Didn't even hesitate. Yep. Nobody, I put it out there. Nobody mentioned it. I was like, Schneik, I'm getting that one. But I was thinking if we could possibly at all work out some way that we could all play it together.
Yes.
I think that would be a blast.
Yes. The streaming setup is completely portable. So whenever you guys want to do that, we can do that.
Nice.
Okay.
Right now. So
because I've got an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old. That's not enough. I need to not play with my kids and play the Nickelodeon game with you guys. That's what
I need
it's all
to
about.
find some adults to play the Nickelodeon Super Smash Bros. With.
The thing that I found
100%.
surprising was the majority of these characters are kind of callbacks to shows when I was young.
Yeah.
So they're even I don't know about you, Max. Were you a Hey Arnold kid? Were you an All Real Monsters? Were you a Rugrats?
Those were I watched Rugrats. Yeah, I didn't watch a ton of TV when I was a kid, but I was peripherally aware of them.
Okay. So, but it definitely seems like it's tailored more towards us than current kids.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, I didn't watch Hey Arnold because it was slightly before my time.
Right. Yeah.
I remember it being on, but it wasn't I feel like kids' older brothers used to watch it or something.
I just need Donkey Lips from Salute Your Shorts to show up, and then I'll buy it. Day one.
Love Salute Your Shorts. Salute Your Shorts or Hey Dude? Which one are you?
Salute Your Shorts, definitely.
Yeah,
watch
same.
Hey Dude because of Salute Your Shorts, because they were
back to back.
Hey Dude,
usually.
right? But definitely Salute Your Shorts over Hey Dude.
You guys are just making up words. I have no
man.
idea.
What are you talking about?
I don't know what any of those things are either.
Man, there
We're
were
at
two
a 50%
Salute
comprehension
Your
rating.
Shorts. They were
We just covered. I'm 49 years old. I was watching Plastic Man on Saturday morning in the 70s on my 2 channels that I got. No, I think no.
No. Salute Your Shorts would definitely. You would have watched. You would have watched it.
Yeah,
We're
Salute Your
6
Shorts
years
was
apart.
great.
Come on.
Nah.
See, I feel like I was on the end of Salute Your Shorts, where I people after me really don't know about it. Hey Dude,
I've
I
never heard of it.
very vaguely remember, but the cat. If you look up the cast for Hey Dude, Ben Stiller's wife was one of the main characters.
Yeah,
there's a bunch of semi big names now. Anyway,
just a comedy show or something.
Yeah, it was a live action comedy. Yeah,
Salute Your Shorts was about a camp. Hey Dude was about
a dude ranch.
Actually being on a ranch. Yeah, Elliot?
Yeah. It was a dude ranch. Yeah, Hey Dude.
Hey Dude.
Okay. So speaking of shows about camps, did any of you guys catch Fear Street? Did you guys do that?
I don't talk about it because I want to watch all 3 of them now that they're out. I just haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah. Do it, man.
Okay.
Do it. I won't. But I will. The only thing I'll say is that they get progressively better as they go.
Okay,
good.
So if you watch the first one and it's kind of corny, don't bounce. Stick with it.
Okay.
Because it is there's a good payoff at the end. It's very cool.
Yeah,
very
I really
cool.
want to. Everyone's talking. It's kind of on the internet sphere. So another show I'm excited for. Were any of you guys Isaac Asimov fans at all?
Yeah, the Foundation thing.
Yes, Foundation. There was a trailer that came out today. Foundation comes out on September 24th on Apple TV. Do you know the premise? Do you want to tell the premise of Foundation for those of you who might not know?
You go ahead because it's been a while and I'll make a mess of it.
this mathematician, I think he's a mathematician, some guy who can predict like mass like extinction events. This is in the far future. Realizes that there's going to be like this huge dark age for like 50,000 years or something, but he's found a way to minimize that 50,000 years to like 1,000 years or something like that. So the series of novels is about like the Foundation, which is a group of people who are attempting to like shrink the size of like the dark time from 50,000 to like 1,000 years. And so that's what I'm assuming the show will follow, that because the books are kind of one of those things where I think it's going to be kind of hard to put to film, because it's like Dune, it's like so many other Necromancer, these books that are like really hard to move towards like
visualization.
Yeah, because Foundation, I mean, takes place over like I don't remember how many years it's supposed to take place, but it follows like lineages of like this Foundation as they try to do it. So the first season has Jared Harris, who's from Chernobyl, Mad Men, Fringe. What else am I missing? He's fantastic in everything he's in.
He's Richard Harris's son.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, Chernobyl was the jam.
Oh, Chernobyl was so
good.
Man,
I caught the tail end of Chernobyl. And I was
really?
Like, oh my god! Like I knew I wouldn't have sat through it, but then I'm mad that I saw the ending of it, and then I was like,
oh yeah, that like reactor thing blew up, didn't it? Sorry, spoilers.
The crazy part about Chernobyl is like that was real people, you know, like that was really what happened to those people. It's insane.
Yeah, it was rough.
Anyway, I'm excited for it. Season 1, Apple TV. The only show I've watched on Apple TV so far has been Ted Lasso, which I actually really liked.
There's a lot of good stuff on Apple TV, actually. We watched that. We watched Little Voice, the Sarah Bareilles show, the one that she wrote all the music for. That's pretty awesome. She's great.
Sarah Bareilles, man.
So good, dude.
So
Love
good.
Her. We saw her her first concert of her tour in Detroit right before lockdown. So we're probably like one of 3 audiences that got to see that tour.
Aww.
And it just ended. But yeah, she's
so
fantastic. Good. But yeah, there's a lot of other good stuff on Apple TV. Amazing Stories is pretty decent.
Laszlo?
Yeah,
is it what is it? Laszlo?
Ted Lasso? Oh,
Ted
Lasso.
Lasso.
Is that good?
Ted Lasso.
Yeah,
oh,
Ted Lasso is really good.
Dude, Ted Lasso's like the best show on TV. It is so good.
Weird. It's so weird to describe too, because you're like, oh, it's about this American football coach who goes to coach like British football or soccer, and you're like, that sounds terrible. But it's like not. It's
a happy show. Like, he's happy, the character's happy, and it's just infectious. Like, it just makes you happy to watch it. It is a fantastic show.
Yeah, that scene where they're playing darts and he's talking about like how like there's just scenes like that in that series where you're like, so good. It's so well acted. It's so well written. Yeah, that was. And then what's the name of the comedian that plays Ted Lasso? His name is escaping me.
Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah, he had at the time of that filming had like just gone through that huge breakup with
Olivia Wilde.
Thank you. And it was like kind of crazy how like he's playing this super happy character, and like at that point in his actual life, it's not necessarily like the best. Oh, that's why Eric. That's why we're here.
Eric is killing to fill in the blanks, man.
That's great. It's so good.
Eric, the last console Sega made was the Sega.
Oh, Dreamcast?
Yeah, I was seeing if he was good.
All right.
Took me a second there.
We're gonna do that throughout the rest of the show, by the way.
I had to question myself.
Yeah, it's your birthday.
Sticking with streaming, Netflix is apparently doubling down on big budget movies and kind of not doing so many series now. Apparently, they had a bunch of like execs shifting focus. So the people that got promoted were all the people who were like in charge of like the movie part of Netflix, not so much the TV show part of Netflix. So some people are like, oh, there's probably going to be like more movies kind of coming out, where I think that's kind of like the weaker part of Netflix for me. For me, Netflix is like the series are what kind of keeps me going, but they've really kind of done a lot of like one and done the last couple of like big ones that I've enjoyed. I've been kind of like upset that they're like, oh, we're just doing one season of. So
Netflix's attempts at big budget movies suck. Like I watched the Tomorrow War on Prime last night, and it was shockingly good. Like
I don't know if good is the right word to use.
No, I loved it. I absolutely had a blast with it. Like I watched it with my son and my wife, and we were just like, oh, the entire time, because it's just kind of just a crunchy monster action sci-fi movie. Like, don't get me wrong, it's dumb, but
sure.
Compare that to that fucking Bright with Will Smith.
Oh, Bright was such a letdown.
Netflix's
such a cool
big
concept.
budget movie. Like, yes, so bad for their first big budget movie. So bad. So I would take the Tomorrow War over Bright any day. Like, Netflix's movies are.
Didn't they do
not all of them? There's some cool stuff on there, but nothing has like knocked my socks off.
The last one I saw, I thought they did was the Mitchells versus the Machines. Did you guys see that?
Oh my god.
That was fantastic. Okay, I take everything back.
Yeah.
That's the only Netflix movie I can think of. I don't know what else they've done. I don't.
Mitchells versus the Machines.
Yeah, Irishman was kind of weak sauce too.
Oh, I liked it. I heard people say
I wish they were like 10 years younger, because then it would have been a much. I don't know.
The Irish Boy.
Well, watching ancient Robert De Niro like de-aged beating up a guy like an old man was kind of weird. Yeah. Looks young. Moves old.
The other big news about Netflix is rumored that they're getting into the video game market, which is kind of interesting on a lot of fronts when you start to think about like how it's going to actually work. Apparently, the rumor is that they're not going to charge extra for it. There's rumors that Sony is somehow involved with it.
Whoa.
There's all kinds of things floating about it. So
I think that got semi-debunked today.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah, I they there was an interview. Who's the dude that they hired? They hired a dude
from is it Chief Creative Officer for Zynga?
Yeah.
EA. I can't. Verdu, I think is his name. No.
Dude was in an interview, and dude said they're going to be mostly focusing on mobile games to start.
Okay.
Netflix will?
So, yeah. So that kind of shuts down that whole Sony. Yeah. So the Sony part was the part that got debunked, not the whole thing.
Oh.
Just the Sony connection. So yeah, they're going to be doing mobile games in the mobile space.
Oh yeah, it's right. Literally right here. The Columbus Dispatch just reported it. Netflix will press start on video games expansion on smartphones and tablets like 2 seconds ago.
Which makes more sense, because if you start thinking about it, are they going to go the Stadia route? Do you need a controller? How are they going to, there's a lot of things to kind of think about how they're going to go about this.
They're smart. They'll go the Nintendo route and just kind of sprinkle them here and there to see if they work. That's what Nintendo did.
Well, it sounds like they're hiring a bunch of game-related people. They've had a bunch of like openings for game-related stuff, so I don't know if they're going to start to maybe even develop some stuff in-house or whatnot. So
yeah, they've dabbled in video games before. There was that Stranger Things 3 game a couple of years ago, and one or two others that are kind of slipping my mind because they didn't make much of a splash. Was the Stranger Things one a beat 'em up, Joe? That seems like something that you would.
Yes,
was it?
It was, and I didn't touch it because it was a top-down 3/4 beat 'em up. Does that make sense? And it was weird, and I was just like, you know what it was? Beat 'em up, like zombies ate my neighbors.
Oh,
it was kind of like that.
Okay.
Yeah, check it out. I think you can find it anywhere.
It's on Game Pass.
Yeah.
I saw it on Game Pass today. Maybe I'll check it out.
Just grab it. It's free.
Yeah.
That Game Pass.
Ooh, that Game Pass.
Oh,
man, that Game Pass.
Man,
so
digging into the Game Pass for PC because I don't have the Xbox console.
Right, which you don't need now.
I just clicked on RPGs today.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah.
There's like enough there for the rest of my life. Like, it is ridiculous.
I would never stop talking about that Game Pass.
Yeah, and they just added Cris Tales today, so.
They just added Cris Tales today, dude, and that like. All right, let's. Do you mind if we kind of take a little pivot into Cris Tales?
Let's pivot.
Because I've been waiting for Cris Tales for like two years. I'm so
Absolutely.
Jazzed.
Same.
So back when I was writing for PSU.com, the company that made it, Modus Games Brazil, and I can't remember the name of the developer, but they're a Colombian developer. They gave us access to like a really early build of Cris Tales. And so I played it like way back when, and then interviewed all those folks. And man, it is so beautiful. The animation is just jaw-dropping, and the cool like time. It's so hard to describe. Like I had such a hard time when I was writing the preview putting it into words how it works. Yeah. But basically, like there's a picture a triangle or a pyramid in the middle of the screen, and that's now. And then on the left of the screen is 10 years ago, but in the same space. And on the right of the screen is 10 years from now, but in the same space. What? So as you move your character, the triangle moves with you. And so you're seeing the buildings as you go by, like the future version, the now version, and the past version, like as you walk past them. And it's the coolest effect. It is so neat. And so then what happens is when you take action, like the stuff in the future changes. Like you can change the future.
You can plant a seed in the past, and then it grows the vine that you can climb on in the current.
And then there's a big tree there in the future, or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with the battle system. Like, so if you're fighting somebody, like you can hit them with your time powers and send them into the future, just them, and all of a sudden you're fighting like an old man. Or you can send them into the past, and it's just a baby, and you beat up the baby.
Yeah. Or you can like spray water on them and the current, then send them to the future, and their armor has rusted.
What?
Right?
It's so cool.
You can like you can throw a time effect that like poisons them over time. But if you send them to the future, it poisons them all immediately. You don't have to wait for the effect to like build up.
And this is on Game Pass?
Yeah, it just came out today.
So this is like it's a RPG of some sort?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a JRPG. So like the company like loves the Chrono Triggers and the old SNES Final Fantasies. And so this is like their love letter to those, filtered through like Colombian culture. So it's got like Colombian music and Colombian art and all the visuals and so on. So it's kind of like steeped in this Colombian filter, but man, it is stunning.
Oh,
like
some of those combinations
so cool.
you can make are just like so cool to watch. Like all the fire animations are all so cool to like pull off. And the problem though too is like you can send somebody to the future where you're like, oh, they're an old man. Or you can send like a young guy to the future and now he's like a captain instead of like just a basic soldier. So it can like backfire on you too. So it's not like, oh, I'm going to always send them to the future or always send them to the past, because like that can also like not be good for like the fight.
Yeah. So Elliot's been reviewing it for us on Switch, right?
Yeah, I'm playing it on Switch right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit. So, I'm looking at this right now.
Oh, it's crazy. It's breathtaking at times. It's really cool, the look of it. There's definitely some things about it where you can tell, like, oh, these guys, this is like their first game. Like for me on the Switch, the load times are literally the worst part, where, you know, you can just be walking on the map and then you get into a random battle and like you'll have a 17 second load time.
Ugh.
Where you're just like, oh my God, come on. Like, and the worst part is you can do a fight and then take 2 steps and another 15-second load time.
Oh yeah,
and
that's a bummer. Well, okay, so not on the Switch. Not on the Switch is what you're saying.
But I've heard that's kind of the same problem on the Xbox. I don't know if that's true or not, because I haven't gotten to it yet. It's one of those things that like I was going to check out today at some point, and I just haven't yet. So I am interested to see if that kind of carries through. I am going to check to see if it does or doesn't. So, because if it does carry through, then it's not really a Switch problem so much as a like how it was made kind of problem, or maybe it is a Switch problem, because on the Switch, even in docked mode, no problem with frame rates. Handheld mode, no problem with frame rates. It's just the load times for like everything. You walk to the end of the room and you get to the next place. 17 second load time.
I have a feeling they'll probably work to optimize it in the future.
And I'm sure they will.
My impression was that they were right down to the wire on this thing, because like it was like the whole time leading up to it Inside Baseball, it was like, hey, do you guys want a preview for this game? Like 2 months ago, like we could get you an early version of the game. You guys can preview it. oh wait, we're not going to do that anymore.
I was excited 2 months ago. So I was like, oh, 2 months. I'm going to get this like months ahead of people.
Yeah, and then like 2 weeks ago, it was like, oh hey, we got some, like maybe some PC builds, that we can send out. You guys can try. Oh wait, we're not doing that anymore. And so I have a feeling that it came like right down to the wire. So I imagine they're going to be patching, over the next. Well, and they put it out on like all the stuff, like it's PC, the PlayStation, the Xbox, Switch, Stadia, Luna, like it's like across the board, it's on everything. So I think they probably just had their hands full.
I also heard, and I don't know how true it is, I haven't put a lot of like time to look into it, but I heard that the demo that they released wasn't super well received. I heard there was a lot of like people like hemming and hawing. So I think they kind of, and I even played the demo in this, and they definitely did change some stuff in the beginning. It definitely is a little more fluid. So I don't know if they took that feedback and were like, oh, if they don't like this in the demo, they're not going to like this like 15 hours into it. So the demo really wasn't a whole lot compared to like where I'm at now in the game. And I think I am almost done. I do know how many like areas there are, and I think I am on the last area. So I think I'm pretty close. So I don't know if they took that and they did it. And if they did, then I think they've done a good job, because the beginning, I kind of breezed through the beginning when I started my real playthrough without much problem, because I kind of knew, but it was a little different. So I think they did kind of take some feedback into consideration with it. So
cool.
But overall, I'm really enjoying it, and it's definitely going to be pretty high up on my scale. So
cool.
So. Right on. Speaking of Switch, Pokemon Unite.
Yeah, baby.
Tomorrow. Let's talk about it, Elliot. Let's talk about it.
It's their MOBA. It's their version of a MOBA.
It's like your Smite.
Your, League of Legends.
League of Legends.
Yeah.
With Pokemon.
With Pokemon.
And it's free.
Yeah.
Free 99. Yeah. Right? Is it free?
Yeah, it's free. Yeah. And if you get it right now, you'll get one of the characters, a Pokemon that I'm not familiar with. So it must be from one of the,
yeah, that's right. You can preload it.
Yeah, you can preload it, and if you preload it, you get a Pokemon, one of the stupid generation ones that I don't know.
So, Eric, tell your son that there's a MOBA that I'm going to beat him in, because I know he loves those things.
Oh, man, Smite. He is so... Smite. Like,
Smite.
They just smack people in Smite. Like, his team is so good now, they challenge, like, Smite pros and just smack the shit out of them. Like... It's ridiculous.
They should look into making money off that shit.
They should look into making money off it, but no, it's just fun. Like, yeah, fun for 50 hours a week. That's fun. Like,
I know a kid who's like platinum in Apex or something like that. He's like platinum. He's like, yeah, but I want to make sure that I'm like in the higher ranks of platinum. I was like, motherfucker, you're platinum. Go out there and make the little $500 that you'll get from a tournament and shut the fuck up. Like, it's more than you're making now, you 14-year-old shit. Please don't listen to this. I'm dogging your kid. Brittany, I'm dogging your kid. Your kid needs to get up and do some shit.
My son has one more year of college before he's a developer, so I'm not encouraging him too hard to follow his Smite dreams, to be honest.
But yeah, I'm excited about Pokemon Unite.
Yeah, I kind of am too. I've been kind of following it since they announced it. I try every Pokemon game at least once. I at least give it a fair shake. I'm one of those kids. I was in 5th or 6th grade when Pokemon Red and Blue came out, so I was the target demographic, right? Like 5th grade, 6th grade, Pokemon Red. They had me hooked from the beginning. Where my friend brought over Pokemon Red, and he's like, "God, try this." So I've played almost every Pokemon game, so I'll give anything a shake.
I have never played a Pokemon game.
Oh, really?
What?
I mean, there's
Snap. Wait, I played Pokemon Snap on
that does no.
Oh, then you got
N64.
it.
Pokemon RPGs. You love RPGs.
I love RPGs, but I've never played a Pokemon game. Never ever. My kids have tried. My older boys have tried several times to get me to play Pokemon games, and it doesn't appeal, man. Something about it. It's not my jam. Do you play them, Max? Do you play Pokemon?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played a lot of them, but I played them when I was a kid. Like, I feel like Elliot said, he was the target demographic. I was like 98. I was 6 when the first one came out, but I feel like I was also the target demographic.
Yeah.
As long as you can kind of read, then you want to play it if you're a kid. So.
Yeah, I was like 27, so like it was not the target demographic at all. And like I know there are a lot of people even my age that are like super into it, but I just never. I mean, part of it was that I never had a Game Boy, and I never had a Game Boy Advance, and then but
I stopped playing after the GBA ones. Yeah,
and then by the time I finally got around to getting like a DS, I was playing Final Fantasy games on it, and that's all I wanted to play. And Civilization, oh my god, the DS Civilization, like 100 hours in that thing, easy, man. I would just sit there and play it endlessly. But yeah, so no, never engaged with the Pokemon, man.
Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. We're all Marvel guys, right?
Wait, are we talking
the game?
The game or the movie?
The movie.
What about it?
Well, I mean, just Marvel in general, but apparently Winston Duke, who played M'Baku in Wakanda, he is officially in the next Black Panther movie, so he'll join Martin Freeman, he'll join, I guess, like literally the entire cast is back with the exception of Chadwick Boseman. So I guess he's got a bigger role this time, which looks kind of cool. I kind of thought he would maybe be the next Black Panther. I think as an actor, he's kind of grown since then, so he's definitely becoming a bigger name than he was, with the first one.
Yeah.
I'm just not familiar enough with Black Panther lore to like know who's next, and like I know that like the mantle has gone through several different characters over the years, just like there's been a bunch of Iron Mans and a couple Thors and different Spider-Men and so on. But yeah, so the whole thing, I'm fascinated to see the direction that they take it. Just how are they going to do it? How are they going to pull this off? How are they going to be respectful? Because I have no doubt in my mind that they're going to absolutely slay it and it's going to be great.
Yeah.
But just like seeing how they do that is fascinating. On a side note, I'm super jazzed about that What If show, which has Chadwick Boseman's last performance in it, and the trailer for it is like fantastic. The animation style they're putting into it just looks amazing.
I saw Disney has a whole new company, or Marvel, where they're only going to do like small, like Marvel animated stuff like What If.
That's awesome.
So it sounds like there's going to be a lot more of that kind of stuff. And the other cool part is, I don't know if you guys watched Loki, but it sounds like What If might even be like a direct correlated or causation of Loki, where
that makes
might
sense.
Not actually be like What If so much as it is.
Right.
Alternate timelines.
Yeah. So
the thought struck me earlier this week, and if you haven't watched Loki yet, I'll try to keep it as spoiler free as possible.
Spoilers.
I'm on like episode
Spoilers.
3.
Stop listening now. Spoilers.
Wait, should I stop listening?
I think it's common knowledge that Loki leads into multiple timelines spawning, right? But the thought struck me like, oh wait, Loki took place right after the Avengers. Like the original, like time frame wise, it took place after the first Avengers movie. So all this time, like Guardians of the Galaxy and Avengers 2 and Spider-Man, while all this shit was playing out, Civil War and blah, 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 that whole time, those timelines were just, going in all directions. And so, it's an interesting way to do it. I think, I'm very excited about where Marvel's going. Huh. But the Black Panther thing, I want to talk about the thing that's coming to the Avengers game. Because
that's right.
Like, I thought that's where you were going. Actually,
we're a video game podcast, Elliot. Get in your lane.
I was leading into it, but I wasn't allowed to lead into it. Max.
Wow.
So did you have something there about it?
I did not. No.
Okay. So you're just a liar.
Yeah.
So
on Eric's birthday stream, no less. Wow.
Lies. The betrayal. So basically, okay, so the Marvel Avengers game came out, and everybody kind of agreed right out of the gate that the campaign was like really, really fun, and it was way better than everybody expected it to be. But the like game as a service part got really old really fast. Like, I don't know anybody that sunk time into that and like built up all their characters and stuff. Like, basically everybody played the campaign, did a couple of the missions at the end, was like, this sucks, and like bailed, right?
Yeah.
So the idea was that they were going to be releasing more content like at a steady cadence, and they had all this stuff announced. And so far, all we've gotten is Hawkeye's younger Hawkeye, Kate, whatever her name is. Kate Bishop, yeah. And then Hawkeye, and now this Black Panther thing. And like, the Hawkeye things, I don't know if any of you guys played them. They were not extraordinary. Like, they basically were just more of the end game content with a little bit of story stuff thrown into them, but it wasn't like the campaign. It wasn't like you were running into like new areas and having like cool fights and stuff. It was more like, oh, I'm running through more of this end game content that's all the same, just with this new character, you know?
Yep.
So the Black Panther thing looks like they're actually adding like cool stuff into the game. And a lot of people are saying that it might be just the swan song of the game, because they got, between the like lack of success for the game and the pandemic, they got so far off their cadence. Like, there were supposed to be like tons of new characters by now. People bought it specifically on Sony because they were promised Spider-Man. Spider-Man was coming to the game as a Sony exclusive. So far, ain't no Spider-Man.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You're
it hasn't. No, it hasn't happened. It's been like 18
crap.
months, and it's like there's no Spider-Man, and so it is possible that they're going to drop this Black Panther expansion, and it looks like a real expansion instead of just these character drops with a little bit of story, and then that'll be it, and Spider-Man will just never happen.
Wow.
And I don't know. It's been a weird, long, sad story for that Avengers game, which, you know, is fun, but like the supervillains in it, Taskmaster and Abomination out of the gate. You know who's there now? Taskmaster and Abomination. like the missions that you take to go fight supervillains, it's Taskmaster and Abomination. That's it. Like, they haven't added in any more villains. Like, you can, you know, do your dailies on those two that you fought like a million times. And yeah, I don't know, man.
I literally stayed away because people were poo-pooing on the end game so hard, and that it was such a hill. It was a mountain to climb, end game content wise, to like have great gear and stuff, that I stayed away from it. I literally saw it up for sale for like $10, and I was like, no, I don't even.
Okay, wait. 100% worth $10. 100%, because the campaign is probably like 20 hours long. Maybe that's a bit much. Like 12 to 15 hours long, and it's fantastic. It is a really, really good campaign, and the writing is really funny, and it's got all that Marvel wit and everything, and it's well worth playing through the campaign. Just go in knowing that when you get to the end game, you might just be like, "Nah, well, that was a good campaign."
Yeah,
you know.
So. I have this weird chaos theory with gaming companies. Do you think that the gaming companies are letting the internet get a hold of them when they, when they poo-poo on all the games, and then they go, well, we were going to release this content, but you didn't like our game, so fuck y'all, we're pulling it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, look at Anthem.
Oh,
Anthem, exactly. That was exactly what I was thinking of.
Perfect example.
And Anthem, they even like debated like a month or two ago. They're like, are we going to like do Anthem 2.0 or 3.0 or whatever? And then they're like, nah, fuck that.
I think it was in development this whole time. Like, I think they had a team working on it this entire time, and then they finally just pulled the plug. And so, like, what, a year and a half, 2 years worth of work went into like fixing that game, and then they're just like, yeah, fuck it, you got this old Anthem. That's all you get.
Yeah.
You know?
Using Anthem as an example, I had a friend that got it day one, super into it, everything, and he was so like, this is like absolute crap, that I'm like, well, I'm never gonna play this. I trust his opinion completely. We play a lot of the same games. We play a lot of games together, and he was like, not worth it. I'm like, it's not worth it then.
I bought it for $3 from GameStop.
There would have been
the cheapest game at GameStop that day was Anthem, and so I bought it, and I played probably about 20 hours of it, and it was okay. But then I hit a wall. And everybody says there's a wall that you hit like fairly early on, and you have to like really hunker down and power through to get to the end game stuff. And I hit that wall, and I was just like, nope, I'm not doing this. I'm not flying around and looking for all these dumb treasure chests and like doing all this dumb stuff, and I just stopped. But up until then, it was okay. You know,
so didn't they patch it and make it better, and now everybody's playing it? Or did I read that wrong somewhere?
I think
No,
that
I don't
they
think
patched
so.
it a little bit and kind of got past the hump. Because initially, it just like flat out didn't work. Like a lot of games that come out day one have like server problems and stuff, but like that game was fucked when it came out. Like it like really didn't work, and so they kind of got over the hump on that after a month or two. But the word of mouth was
That's what drove me away. The word of mouth alone on that game, I was like, it's not even worth it. It's not worth it. And I know that, like I said, they were debating about if they're going to like really reinvest in it, and they chose not to, from what I can tell.
Yeah. I think so.
Makes sense.
My other part of the chaos theory is that I think Nintendo does that in reverse, right? They hear so much hype about so many things that are going to happen, and they hear all these rumors, and so they just debunked Bloomberg's whole like Nintendo's going to release a new system and they're going to profit. And Nintendo actually came out and was like, none of this shit is true. Everything you wrote on that article, none of it is true. None of it. And it's like one of the first times that an actual big company has come out and debunked something. So I think Nintendo hears these rumors and they have like things lined up, and they hear these rumors and they go, these motherfuckers already know what's about to happen. We're going to push it back and push it back again. There's the Metroid Prime trilogy that is already done.
Been done.
And it's been done for 2 years. And every time somebody reports on it, I think they push that shit back another 6 months to a year.
Okay, this is the chaos part of your theory.
Is that crazy? Is it?
Nintendo weird though, because like they're so, to me, they're so like, man, they make a fantastic game, or they just make a middle of the road, like, oh, here, you wanted another Mario sports game, here's Mario Golf. It's fine, it's really rough around the edges, but it's like here, and like if you're super into the Mario sports games, you're gonna love it. If you're like, I like them, then you're gonna be like, it's fine. And like that's what it was. Like it was fine. It's just fine.
I don't think it's to piss people off. I think it's to maintain the magic. Like
that.
Like it's like the goddamn Disney Vault. Like the Disney Vault used to infuriate me. Like, why can't I just buy the Lion King if I want the fucking Lion King? It's in the vault. Fuck you. So I think Nintendo follows the same thing. They're gonna like just drip the content, when it's gonna make the most impact, and they are not afraid to sit on shit forever, until they decide that it's gonna make the most impact.
Right.
With that said, I don't think the Metroid Prime trilogy is done.
Oh,
there's there's a lot
I feel like
of
that's a conspiracy theory.
There was a big thing this
might be
week
right.
about. Yeah, you could absolutely be right. I'm sure if it was done, they wouldn't have sat on it for 2 years. But
there is 0% chance that Nintendo actually remastered the Metroid Prime trilogy for Switch and has that shit done 2 years ago and hasn't even announced that they're doing it. No, absolutely not.
That's fair.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
No, that's fair. Yeah. I will. Yeah.
Metroid Prime can't melt steel beams crazy. Like,
oh boy.
Or what was just the plasma arm cannon can't melt steel beams.
Our podcast just went viral. Thanks, Max. No, yeah.
They do. One thing they are doing though is the way that Mario remaster for the Switch of Super Mario 64 was only available for like a few months.
Well, they've been doing that
Disney
with a couple
Vault
things.
Yeah, that's like that's a real thing that's happened, because you can't, unless they went back on that, you can't buy that anymore. It's gone.
Yeah.
No, they've been doing that with a couple of things. They did that with the Mario Tetris 99 version of Mario. What was it called? Mario 99?
Super Mario 35.
35. Thank you, Joe.
God,
thank you.
So good.
Yeah.
Amiibos.
So good.
Amiibos, you guys. They can make as many of those goddamn Happy Meal toys as they want to.
Yep.
But they don't. They restrict them so that there's a high demand, and the people that get them are super excited.
There's a reason why Nintendo games hold their value 10 or 15 years. Like, Nintendo cartridges hold their value over PlayStation 1 games by far. I mean, it's a large margin.
Because they stopped making them. They stopped.
Is it?
The Nintendo Mini, what was that Mini, the Classic Edition, and then the Super Nintendo? They just stopped. It was like, yeah, here's this thing, go buy it. But we're not gonna make it anymore. Nah, just kidding. We'll make a couple more, and then we're not gonna make it anymore.
That doesn't benefit Nintendo though. Like
the
fact that there is a high resale market,
bank
long term, I think it does though.
Well,
I think
maybe
that they
reputationally, but like compared to I just like
I
if
think it's
you're
part of their
making
brand.
a game and you put out like. So say you put out less copies than you think will, or you put out as many copies as you think will sell, and there's more demand for that. That gives it a high resale value, but you're not the one getting the money off the resales. Like that money doesn't go to Nintendo.
I think
that goes to me
long-term brand building, man. Like those SNES classics that Joe was talking about. I'm sure there's a spreadsheet somewhere where they just have like, okay, so we can make this many for this much money, and we will profit this much, and maybe there's like an expense to making more or something. We have to double down on the chips or something. So we're just gonna like just stop, and it's gonna be good, and then the result is, fist fights at Walmart on Green Friday, Black Friday, whatever you call it.
Green Friday, Black Friday, potato, right?
It's a KB thing, another KB thing coming back to haunt me.
That's right.
Called it Green Friday.
I mean,
Black
still continuing with the Nintendo, like there's so many franchises of theirs that I wish they would put on like the eShop. Man, I would pay to play Golden Sun again on my Switch.
Mm-hmm.
I would pay $30 to play Golden Sun 1 and 2 on the Switch. All you gotta do is just put it on there. Don't even like remaster it. Just port it, man.
And Max, what Elliot is doing right now is why Nintendo does what they do.
But you're right. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm getting at. It's like I want
you
that.
You just think they just
Advanced Wars is coming out. That remake of Advanced
pernicious.
Wars. I am beyond excited. It's my winter game. Advanced Wars 1 and 2 remake or whatever they're calling it. That is what I'm looking forward to this December.
Right.
See? I mean, so it totally works. I think it does work, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I've
people
never
have been
played
clamoring
Earthbound,
for Advanced Wars.
and I want to play Earthbound. I've never played Earthbound once. All I want to do is play Earthbound the correct way.
Why won't you just let me? Go get a Wii U.
I don't.
That's pretty complex.
That's the problem. I had a Wii U and I didn't get it then. I should have. Right? I bought Golden Sun on the Wii U because it was Golden Sun on the Wii U. Right? So it's sometimes flabbergasting.
Where's your Wii U?
It's in the closet somewhere.
Max,
but
that's
I'm saying
double down.
I would.
That's a double down right there.
Time.
He has a copy of Golden Sun on an HD machine.
I have my Game Boy Advance one in my bedroom. I know right where it's at.
Okay, so he has two copies of the game, and he would rather play it on the Switch.
On my Switch, yes.
You see? That's why they do it. That is called
this doesn't
cash
make sense.
in the bank.
That's not nothing in the bank because he's not paying them.
You can't. But Max, you're trying to apply logic and reason to Nintendo, and it just doesn't work. Like they make no sense. Like it just is impossible to wrap your mind around their weird branding, marketing ways because they just do weird shit, man.
And you know what happens? They sell 85 million fucking systems.
Have you guys noticed the ebb and flow to Nintendo? Like, Super Nintendo super popular, and then N64 less so, and then Wii super popular, and then Wii U less so, and then Switch super popular, and then we'll see what comes next and see if it's less so. They're like Star Trek movies,
It'll be less so.
The even ones are good. The odd ones are not.
The Switch 2 will have a chip that has, been on the market for 4 years, and everybody will be like, oh, it's only 60 frames per second when it should be 120, but we're going to buy it anyway. I feel like that's how.
Chips that have been on the market for 4 years, still nobody's seen with their eyes, though. Like, they invented chips 8 years ago that nobody can get a hold of.
That's right. So,
all right. Well, should we start to wrap it up? You think?
Do you want to talk about the Steam Deck at all?
Nope.
Nah.
Okay. That was the last thing I had. I didn't know if we wanted to talk about it. I saved it for last because it's like the least exciting.
I hear it.
To me.
The Steam Deck looks cool. People are gonna like sell it on eBay for like $1 zillion.
Oh, that's the other story I have is they're literally doubling, tripling the prices of it. Right?
Yeah.
It's already.
Yeah. But
I mean, smart to make it
sitting there with those things.
Oh, they're selling. Like the people are selling them for double or triple, and people are buying them.
What?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah, it's insane.
So according to your theory, Joseph, this means that this is part of Valve's plan and this is going to make Valve money? Just walk me through this one more time.
No.
Wait, but that's how it works for
know.
Nintendo,
But,
huh?
I don't know if Valve... see, this is the thing. Like,
I think Valve will just keep making them. I don't think there's
Valve
going to be any
or
rarity.
keep making versions of them. So you may
if
see
you can
a
find
Steam
the chips
Deck.
to make them.
What is it? Steam Deck? Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Steam
You
Deck,
may see a Steam Deck 2 in a year. Like, because that $349, what does it have? What is it, Elliot? 64 gigs of
eMMC. Yeah.
eMMC
What
memory?
does that even mean?
Yeah.
People are already shitting
The
on
other two have solid states. The other two, so
Oh,
a little,
well, that's it. I mean, there you go.
so.
Yeah.
I don't
The
know.
interesting thing about the Steam Deck is that they went with 720 or 70, whatever it is. Yeah,
It's all about
720p.
price, right? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, so
100%.
they don't have to have like something that's capable of pushing 4K and ray tracing and all that shit. You know, like they can go with some cheaper graphic stuff inside there, and I don't know. It's interesting, but what's funny is that the PC people who are all about their ray tracing, 4K, 120 frames per second are still buying up these Steam Decks, which aren't nearly capable of doing that stuff. But you know, whatever. That's
Yeah,
fun.
let's
It's fun
give
for them.
them
Four of the
something to
top
bitch
10
about.
games. 4 of the top 10 games on Steam can't work on the Steam Deck currently, or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's kind
On
of
on the highest price Steam Deck.
I'm not 100% sure on that. I just know I saw an article where they're like 4 of the top 10 Steam games can't work on a
Jesus.
Steam Deck. And like, oh.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, I know that Ocean's Heart will work on the Steam Deck, so that's all I'm worried about. Right, Max?
There you go.
I don't know. I can't get my hands on a Steam Deck. Presumably.
Max, you're just supposed to say yeah. Just forget it.
Buyer
Are we
beware.
wrapping up, or are we doing
Yeah, let's
what's...
wrap it up.
Yeah,
Who
wrap
do
it
we want
up.
to
Wrap
play?
it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Elliot, real quick, one game. What are you playing?
Well, I'm playing Cris Tales, but hopefully tomorrow I'm playing Ranch Simulator with my boys John and Eric. I'm hoping.
Right on. Max, what are you playing?
Still doing Dark Souls.
Eric, what are you playing?
Fallout 4 still. It got me. Just like I said last week. I said it was going to get me, and it got me.
And it got you. I am playing Death's Door, which is about a crow who is going to retrieve some stolen goods with a sword. It's a crow. Sword. Doing it. Fuck it. Doing it. Death's Door. And Knockout City. I'll say that every week. Knockout City.
Knockout City.
Nice. Well, cool. Thanks for listening. Remember, you can tell a friend about the show. It helps us grow. You can go to our website, gamingnexus.com, or you can go buy Max's game, Ocean's Heart, go watch Joseph's stream, or watch Eric's YouTube page, which he plays some really unique stuff. It's
Hot
definitely
Wheels.
worth watching, at least. Oh, the snake game. The snake game was pretty good the other day,
Snake
too.
Game. I gotta watch that.
The Snake game.
Which
Snake game is good. Dude, my Hot Wheels video is like close to 4,000 views at this
Yeah.
point.
That's
Like, what the
crazy.
hell? What the hell's going on with my Hot Wheels video?
Those wheels are hot, baby.
Must have been posted somewhere or something. Anyhow,
Yeah, and come back next week because we're going to have our first guest on the show, so I won't spoil it, but
Ooh.
pretty big name.
Ew.
Definitely not. Anyway, we will catch you guys next week.
Yeah,
Thanks for
temper your
tuning in.
expectations.
bye y'all.
Bye.